Warning, it is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions and the Working Perspectives podcast Weekend Pop-In that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You've been warned, so if you decide to listen, then don't complain like a fucker.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast Weekend Pop-In. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the strongest of stems and Dove's favorite son, Strong Stem Steve Cabot, and the 44th father, the 44th friend, and the 44th fanatic, Bern Podcasy. Strong Stem, how are we today, sir?
Not bad, and you want to fucking know why? Even though the stupid fucking Eagles lost, wow. So did the fucking Cowboys. Suck my dick, Cowboys.
Love it, love it. Benoit Podcasy, how are you, sir?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Kid's been home all week with a stomach flu, so it's been pretty
You've been having a great time. Nice.
Really happy to talk to some grown-ups tonight.
Love it. All right. Well, very good. So you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, do us a favor and email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please end this monotony that is my life by just subscribing and clicking the like button so my wife will just leave me the fuck alone. All right. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, so let's chitty chat. So this week on the show, we aired the Chris Mastrolia episode. I will like to say this for all our listeners. So I know we have talked about old Uncle Matty pulling an old Uncle Matty, which old Uncle Matty's done old Uncle Matty's before, and we're very aware of this, right? In this scenario, I did not pull an old Uncle Matty. The file actually got corrupted, so there was an extra half hour on the end of that recording. God damn it. But
Bullshit.
No, it's true. It's true. But I wish it wasn't. I wish it was my fault, but it's not, because that's even more frustrating, right? Where it's like I did everything right and this was out of my hands, you know? So either way, I really still think we got some good content. I know that one of the biggest deters that we have of the show is the length. So this is a little shorter of a show. So I'm hoping to see maybe we get some turnaround on the numbers because of that. But either way, I mean, numbers are still good no matter what. But yeah, I really enjoyed the show. It was really great having him on. Another flavor of ice cream that we had. What do you think, Strong Stem?
Good show. Like you said, it goes through quicker that way, and moved a little quicker than usual, which I'm fine with. And
Right. You don't have all day to listen to these things, you know? You're a busy guy.
Yeah. I'm very busy. Let me tell you, so busy.
True. Benoit, what do you think of this week's episode?
I thought it was cool, man. I think it's, it struck me because it was one of those things where, like, you talked about going from being in restaurants and hospitality to like an office job.
Yeah.
And, I've dipped my toes in there as well. And it's crazy. You do a restaurant job for 15 or 20 years and the idea of doing something else is just insane.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's the transition's easier than you think. Mm-hmm. And you get PTO, there's some real benefits than not standing around every day for 8 to 12 hours, busting your hump.
Dude, it is, dude. I'll tell you, it's amazing how overly qualified most people are to work in an office. I'll tell you that right now. And like, dude, you're absolutely right. Like I don't know, the work ethic that you develop working in like a job, like an everyday kind of have to work to get paid job is, I mean, it's unequivalent to any. If you have even a tenth of that work ethic going into the office, you're a fucking shining star. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and it's another thing too, where it's like and I'm not knocking the restaurant gig, because I think everybody I know who's done, and it doesn't have to be a restaurant, but done like legit customer service where you're kind of singing for your supper.
Yeah,
you develop all the skills you're going to need to go into an office and be able to navigate, be able to be like, okay, I know how to talk to this person. I know how to talk to this person. I can connect with this person. Oh, this person's a fucking jerk. Like, I'm just going to stay away from this person. Like, you get those skills. You're a good communicator. You can multitask. So it is one of the things I think everyone should do. Like, for a couple of years just to get a perspective, but it gives you all the skills you need to do anything else.
Agreed. That, and I think that's something that's like a dying breed. And I think, Steve, you have like almost like a different, it's the same take but different, right? Where it's like we're catering to people for their supper, right? Like, or for our, like, for money, like we're very much like a yes sir, no sir kind of like, but like maybe cracking a joke here, but coming off as like likable and things like that. But you, on the other hand, have to be likable, but you also have to convince them that you're trustworthy, right? So where does that, I mean, like, I don't like, I feel like when you're working in a bar or restaurant, it's the establishment itself that would like determine like, okay, like if you're going to go into a place that, like the kitchen isn't that great, you're not going to eat there. But if it's going to be a good time, you're going to party and drink, like, that's the deal. And then people act accordingly. Like the service will be fun and partying and joking and doing all that stuff. But if you're in a fine dining place, you're going to be fucking tightened up and cleaned up and all that kind of stuff and like use the professional thing. But the establishment itself shows that. But for you, it's like someone calls and someone walks in. You have to the knowledge. And I'll tell you this, me and Steve had a situation with this yesterday where he was helping out a friend of mine. And it is crazy, Steve, because I will say this, and I even said this to my friend. I was like, it is nuts because I've known this guy for a while and he's gotten his head hit a million fucking times. But when it comes to, dude, when you were talking about the car shit, it was like a fucking encyclopedia, man. I was like, oh, wow. Like, and it's not even that you're saying it in a way, like, obviously I didn't understand everything, but you made it understandable for people to listen to. And is that part of, would you say, like, being like the trustworthy of like, look, I'm going to just fucking put it out here for you. This is what it is. No bullshit. Right.
Yeah. Being trustworthy. And like I said, the ability to make the person understand how the car works. Like I was saying, like we were just talking about with your friend, like that part, it just sucks that it is what it is. Yeah. Like it's a very expensive ordeal. It's kind of a freak accident, but to be able to, make someone believe you're not lying to them about that nonsense, it's a hard thing. But so with that being said, of course, my job's a little tougher with the fact that if I do something wrong, it's not just me, it gets multiplied because it's my whole family in here.
Yeah.
So that takes out of my brother's plate, which takes off of his kids' plates, which take off my parents' plate. So of course you got to make sure you try your best. Yeah. But I've seen this a couple of times where he was saying there's, people from all walks of life get into the service industry with restaurants and whatnot. That crazy fucking life, right? Which I've never been a part of, but guys that I've lived with and hung out with them were in there, right?
Sure.
You always found that one girl in, like, I'd say every 10 places, this one fucking waitress that literally could start a fucking cult because she has 100 different people that only go to that place for her.
Bro.
And I'm like, I want to walk up and go, sweetie. So I need you to run for councilman and not be a waitress no more. Cause whatever you do, you got it. Yes, you got it.
You can be making way more money doing something else.
You got the thing. You got the thing.
That is, I'll tell you this. And me and Bern had a boss. His name was Matt Schlott, right? And I'll tell you this, as far as like bosses that I've had, he is one of the better ones. He was a fucking asshole, but he was the same. He was the same asshole to everybody that worked there.
Consistency. I like
it. And that's like, if you're going to be an asshole, you got to be an asshole to everybody. And I'm fine with that. Right. Yep. He was, if you fucked up, he let you know. If you did a good job, he let you know too. But you have to be, it can't be favorites. And that's the big thing. But either way, he had said, because when we bartended, he was like, he wasn't, he wasn't trying to have smoke bombs behind the bar. And the reason is this. He's like, he wanted to build regulars. And the way, if you have smoke bombs, right? Yeah, they come in, right? And guys will come in at first, but once they
For
realize,
a while.
exactly. But once they realize they're not going to bang her, they're done, right?
Yep.
But if you
Forever.
but if you could get a smoke bomb that can talk sports, that can like, you know,
it's personable,
who probably had like 3 older brothers or whatever.
Yes.
Right. Who
Gets the dickhead old man weird personality where
Correct.
she's not disgusted by you. In the back of her head, she's very disgusted. But on the surface, she's like, oh, stop it.
But they also have to be sympathetic in a way too. You know what I mean? Like there is times where it's like, depending, like they would feel bad for like a person, and like then they would talk to them, and like say if it was a lonely old man, that would be like their favorite. And we did have like, we had a few girls, they weren't mega on it, but there were some girls at Graham's that like and Tom, my older brother's that way too. Tom has a fucking posse that comes in to see him. But there is like, I've been to some bars where it's a female works there. I was like, this is a fucking pro right here. Like she'll fucking sell glue to a horse, this bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Fucking knows. Do you remember anyone like that, Bern, when we were bartending?
Yeah, I probably remember a couple people like that when we were bartending. I mean, I was just thinking about the people who like just, you know, it was you and me for the most part, and then there was a bunch of girls that ended up making bartenders, but they could all hustle, man. Like Gorman,
I was thinking the same thing.
Morgan,
Smiggles B.
Yeah.
Smiggles B.
But you know, both the Katies, my wife, you know, like they all were able to
they stepped up. Yeah.
They all stepped up. They were all good.
But they kind of got the
we had a vibe. They got the vibe.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a certain establishment, might be next to my shop, is very close in this area. Is it a time place that maybe sells a particular food there at a time? Okay. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who
gotcha.
knows? Either way, there's a certain gal there who in her heyday was, forget about it, but has hung on for literally sometimes just certain times of the day when it happens to be cheaper drinks and the townies come in, right? She'll go to just do that and make like $500 from these morons.
Noon to 4 Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
It's and crush it with the same 10 assholes who will be there from the second that shift starts to the second that shift ends.
And she will hear that story that guy's going to tell for the 175th time, and she will have to just shake the tail and make it look good. You know,
damn right.
Like Spanish in the mascot costume. You know?
Like, I bet she can fucking give it back to anybody too. Like if someone says she fucking rips them, and they love it. They love it, dude. They absolutely love it. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. That's pretty great. Yeah, good for her, dude. That's, I mean, you know, that's how you got to do it, man. And good for her. Fucking
it's a hustle, man. It's a hustle.
I'll tell you too. I used to know a girl, and she was a bartender at this place called the Creekside Cabaret, which is a strip joint in the Lansdale area, right? And it's a classier, up more higher.
Hell yeah, that place is nice.
Real nice.
Creekside, yeah, Creekside fucks.
Maddie, don't you mean the Creekside Cabaret?
Yeah.
That's right. It's Crick. What's up with it? We on the Creekside.
Creekside Cabaret. But yeah, so either way, she would tell me that there was like pros that would come in there, right? And they would work, and I'm saying like pro dancers, and they'd come in.
Don't hold your hands like that. It's a fucking sport, Matt, you piece of shit. You better show the girls that can do the real shit. They run up the pole and slide down of it. That shit is an absolute wonder.
Well, so
that's a unique skill. You show them some respect.
You're
take them
right.
damn fingers down.
The athleticism needed to perform like that. I tip my hat. But
agreed.
Apparently, this is where the real money was made. Right? Is the room?
Hell yeah!
Right? When they
boom room.
Well, like, so apparently she told me this. Apparently, like, the girls police the locker room there. And if there was a girl that was giving out HJs or whatever, or fucking doing whatever, they would fucking crack on that girl and be like, we don't fucking do that here. don't start that shit. If you start that shit, like, we're going to fuck you up. Like, they were vicious to it because they don't want to do that. And
because that's when the cops show up, right? So A, that girl's creating an expectation for other girls that they don't want to do. Right. And B, that's when the cops start sniffing around and they fucks up everybody's money. Correct. So like, just the money's fine.
But she said, like, there was these girls that would come down on the weekends, right? And they would work 2 days a week, Friday, Saturday. They would live up in the Poconos somewhere, or like North Jersey, or like New York, or whatever. They would live far away from where they worked. They would come down just for the weekend, right? They would make like $3,000 because they would go to the room and say, if like they want half an hour in the room, it's like $300. And they're telling these guys like, all right, you want $300 with me for a half an hour? They get a percentage of that. And they're like, you got to tip my girl at the door. You got to tip me. Do you want to have fun or what? Like, they knew how to talk and work these guys that maybe they're in that room for 3 hours, right? But they're walking away with like almost 2K, right? Like, in a night, like, and they're not walking down the catwalk, right? They're like, you can make some money there, but they were like, the real money comes from the room. You know what I mean? Like, if you knew how to talk, that's where you got it. So like, dude, I'm telling you that, like, that to me, I was like, to be able to, I mean, guys aren't the smartest, but to be able to talk some fucking suckers out of money like that, damn, that's a skill, you know?
A quick little bird walk. Just, if you guys haven't, just Google pole assassin later today, because there's a great story out. There's a dude, I think he was an assistant coach at one of the big schools in Texas. And I think they were looking at him for like the Washington job. And then it turned out that his name came up. He lives with a stripper in Texas.
In love with a stripper.
Her name is Pole Assassin. And,
hell yeah.
And it's in
I love her.
It's in the news because they own a monkey who bit a child who was trick-or-treating at their house.
I remember this story.
On Halloween, like from a couple weeks ago. So now there's a college football coach caught up in this pole assassin monkey biting drama, and it's just a fun story, guys. So anybody out there, just Google and what a name for a sort of pole assassin. Like, what does she do to the pole? Yeah. You know, now I want to know.
I got an idea too.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas, but
you don't get that name from nowhere.
No, pole assassin, monkey child bites, and college football coach is all part of the same story. It's got everything.
Jesus, that sounds like the best movie ever made.
It will be in 2 years.
Yeah, and I think we've all fallen victim to being in love with a stripper once in our lives. It's all
and now listen, what I do want to say is I appreciate you guys describing this place that I've never been to, because I'm a classy human being.
Right.
And I've never freaking all these pieces of shit.
I've never been there either. I delivered pizzas there one time.
Okay. But, all right. Yep. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's apparently it's nice. But either way, so like we said, available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast is the Chris Mastrolia episode, as well as all of our other back content. Really, really excited that we got Chris on the show. Like I said before, he's the AVP, Assistant Vice President at my company, and he's this Class A dude. Really great story, local guy. You know, just kind of like, you know, came into the office. He was legit level entry, now Assistant Vice President. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a great story. Also, good dude, good mentor. Learned a lot from him. Really cool guy. Really happy he came on. Then I will say this. We did catch some flack for this, and two things. One, that Chris Mastrolia has never seen the movie The Sandlot, right? Which, you know, he kind of aged out of it, which I think he got kind of a pass because he aged out of it. But he did see and is a massive fan of the movie Major League, right? Which I think we all are. But we got Tom Berenger's name wrong. Thanks to Thomas Adams for correcting us. And you can see it in the comments on the YouTube page. But he was right. We had said his name was Jake Brown. His name is actually Jake Taylor. And the coach's name was Lou Brown. So
the heart attack coach.
Heart attack coach. Awesome. Dude, what a great dude. Major League, right? Great movie. Absolutely great movie. I like top 5 best sports movies all time. Like, so good.
I have one gripe with you though, Matty, listening to that podcast is that, and I'm a couple of years older than you, and that probably makes all the difference, is I remember like worshiping Major League as a kid because it was one of those R-rated movies that you like got to watch early, like at a friend's house, and people are like, "Oh, it's a baseball movie." And you're like, "Yeah, but there's boobs in it."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Yeah, like it's everything you need. And but I remember going to see Major League 2 in movie theaters and walking out of there and being so mad because I was like, it's PG. It was PG.
Yeah.
It went from a great R-rated comedy to a weird PG movie. Now the pieces of Major League 2 are fine. I can go back and watch it now and enjoy it. But at the time I was like, this is not what I signed up for. Okay. I didn't sign up for not even getting to see the Playboys that what's his name was looking at.
Yeah,
like,
Rube Baker.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but behind Caddyshack 2, it might be the second most disappointing sports sequel I've ever seen. I've softened in my later years, but I just remember walking out at the time being like, I'm mad.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was I think I was 9. So I was like,
right. So I was probably like,
wow.
Right. I was probably like 13. And I was like, no, I was promised something here.
They did replace Wesley Snipes with Omar Epps in the second one. And I would like to ask.
And here's the weird part. A lot of people didn't notice. That's not what happened to me, but a lot of people didn't even notice.
So I would like to say, because I know he's a fan of the show, listener of the show, Omar Epps, we miss you. We love you. Would love to see you back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Black Hammer, White Lightning. I mean, that was, I would have seen that movie.
Come on. Yeah, I would have as well. But all right, so let's keep it moving. So like we said, Chris Mastrolia available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Now moving on, next week we have a friend of mine and a friend of Steve's and a former training partner for both of us at the Henzo Gracie PA Academy in Hatfield. He owns Padilla Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now. Mike Padilla will be on the show next week, and I'm telling you, this is a fucking good one, right? Like, he was able to film it from his gym, right? We did Zoom, obviously, but we did it from his gym that he currently owns, Padilla Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we'll have a link for that in the description of his episode and everything like that. But he is a guy that, like, imagine this. Now, there's a lot of people that listen to the show from out of state, and they don't really know, like, this area, but I'm going to give you a little rundown, right? There's a saying, there's Philadelphia, there's Pittsburgh, and then the rest of the state is Kentucky. Right. So like Pennsyltucky sometimes is what it's called, just because like it's Philly and Pittsburgh. Are big, but there's a lot of space between, and it's a lot of
rural.
Backwoods country. Right. And there's a town called Quakertown. Right. And we grew up playing them in football and sports.
Speaks for itself.
It kind of
does.
That's
pretty much
for itself.
Says it all there, right there.
But there's a dominant demographic that's there. And it's and we'll say it's predominantly white.
South
town.
Vietnamese.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people from Mumbai moved there. Mumbai is big. No. It's a lot of white people. So Mike Padilla lived in Spanish Harlem, New York until he was 13 years old. And then he moved from Spanish Harlem, New York to good old Quakertown, PA. Right. And Bern, what did you say about this earlier?
A seamless transition. Yeah. Seamless transition.
Yeah. Big time. So but we're good to hear about that. How he grew up in Spanish Harlem, New York, moved here to Quakertown, living in Quakertown, having to deal with some family stuff. He got into some trouble at a young age. He was a wrestler as well. We big up high school wrestling in the show. So we get to hear some good high school wrestling stories. He was also, he would fight MMA, and he would do professional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments as well. Like, he's done a lot of stuff. Really, really cool. Him and Steve were training together as well, right? Like, it's a really great story. He went from rags to riches, and really turned his wife, met his wife, and really turned his life around, and really just happy to see where he's at now. Steve, I know you know Mike too, and I know you're excited for this, but what do you think? You ready or what?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, Mike's a great dude. His story, Mike could be successful in anything the way he is. He's one of those like grinder type guys. Like he's not. There's no way he's gonna quit. He'll just keep going. So Mike's a tough-minded guy, but. The crazy thing I try to explain to people with the jiu-jitsu game, specifically. So there's Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a huge umbrella. Then there's Gracie jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more like Premier. It's like you're top of the top, right? So you can walk in these other gyms where a guy's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yeah.
He might have been practicing for, I don't know, 4 years, and he's a fucking high-level brown belt at that school.
Yeah.
You ain't getting no high-level brown belt that quickly in Renzo Gracie or any of the Gracie founded ones. No. You earn your time, and you do. They don't give a fuck who you are. Yeah. And Mike got his black belt under Renzo Gracie and Rich, which is insane. That those are not just handed out. To earn that at that level is something that people wouldn't understand how much work has to go into it to earn your black belt under the Gracie name. It's big accomplishment.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, and I equivalent a lot to the way we talk about high school wrestling, where there's like, you can be a state champ from fucking bumfuck Missouri or whatever, right? You wouldn't be shit in Pennsylvania. And that's the exact same comparison where it's like, there's a ton of, and like, I'm not shitting on the other.
There's black belts and there's Gracie black belts.
Correct.
There's
correct.
Most of black belts are usually good, but you can find these fugazi ones and other practitioners.
Right.
You'd never find that under the Gracie banner ever. No guy that ever says he has a black belt from a Gracie guy means he can go into any gym in this planet and hold his own. No problem.
Yeah. I would agree. And I think that's a world-renowned thing where it's like, and like a lot of the, like, if you have a good school, it's probably because you started at a Gracie school. Like, and don't get me 100%. Wrong, there's other places and there's
good other people.
But there's like, it really, the creme de la creme, I think, when you get down. And I remember when we would have when we would have fights, right? And I remember we'd be in separate locker rooms, and like all of us, like all the Gracie guys would be in the same locker room. And I remember like a friend of mine telling me like all these people talking shit about the Gracie guys in the other locker room. And I was like, we're going to fucking smoke these guys. Like, what are you, fucking stupid? Right.
Yeah.
Like, and we ended up, I think out of 9 fights, I think we lost one of them. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just destroyed these guys. So yeah, it's a whole thing. So, but exactly. So yeah, his episode next week, it'll air next Tuesday on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Really, really excited to get it out there. Really, really good stuff. But I want to keep this moving. So let's preface this a little bit, shall we, Strong Stem? So we've talked about weddings on this show. We have. And, we had to put a verbal disclaimer after the last wedding we talked about. So I just want to say,
and Stubbins went to another wedding.
So the last wedding was in Wholesome, Washington. Right?
Washington, as the locals call it.
Washington.
That's right.
This wedding this week. Where was this one at, Steve?
Happened to be in a place called South New Jersey.
South Jersey. I love too how it's spelled with an F. It's South, not South.
It's South Jersey.
South Jersey. Right, South Jersey, South Camden, South Paul. Right.
Yep.
So, give us a little rundown there, Strong Stem. How'd things go?
Well, it was family for me, so it's quite the mixture, and it's always fun when I get to party with the side of my family who's my uncle's the Rocket Man. Like I said, he was the commander of the final NASA shuttle ever. Space station a bunch of time. My uncle's always there. And for a guy like me to be around a guy like him, I'm sure he's like, I can't believe I married. This is what I deal with for my wife. Her fucking crazy ass dickhead nephew asking me UFO questions nonstop.
I bet he fucking loves it. You kidding me?
Nah, we're good.
Everyone thinks he's fucking Johnny Stunad the dweeb, and you come in like, look, fucking, we need to talk. All right.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking know this fucking shit right now.
So here's the thing. We all know a gal or 2 or 10 or all of them in Jersey that may or may not usually may be promiscuous, right? They know what they want. So I've been told.
Let's preference by saying nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely
fantastic. Fantastic.
Agree.
Big fan of it.
Continue. Yeah.
So I will say this: there's a certain, for people that aren't again from the area, there's a certain vibe to small Italian South Jersey.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of a farm, you got this random fucking cul-de-sac that's not at the shore, but it's not at Philly. It's like 45 minutes into the fucking Pine Barrens. And all of a sudden there's this big clear out, right? So whatever. It's like that type of community, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
they go to some nice golf club. and well, it's not my niece, my cousin's kid. I don't know what the fuck you call that. My second cousin, whatever.
Yeah,
my cousin's kid that I'm real close with, right? Her kid, and she's 24, and she married a Camden police officer, right? Real good kid.
Dude,
so they have all their friends there. All their friends are in that age group, right? Bunch of cops in there. They're actually all these young guys, cool as shit. But they're getting wasted. It's on a Sunday. Little man, my cousin about this. On a Sunday, and I got to drive from the north suburbs of Philadelphia, through Philly to get to South Jersey when there's a Birds home game.
Yeah,
because of this fucking wedding. I was ready to shoot myself on the way over. Anyway, I was all upset. By the time I get there, I get reminded I haven't been to South Jersey in a little while. You know, the pandemic, only the beach. But the beach doesn't count. I haven't been to a regular thing with South Jersey humans. Walk in there, and when I tell you the girls were pretty, their moms were gorgeous. The way these jerseys hold together, right? So I saw at least 10 to 15 moms that your job. If I asked you what you did for a profession, you'd look me in the face and say, I look as hot as I can. Because this girl clearly works out all day, has time to do everything she needs to do to look fantastic, because she's 65 and I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
There is, I mean, as much as like we'll casually trash on New Jersey because it's New Jersey, right? I feel like North Jersey and South Jersey are two different states, right?
Sure are.
Like North Jersey is what it is, but South Jersey, there is something about like they're close to the beach. They love Sunday gravy and Sunday dinners. And like they love like growing up and knowing like, look, I'm gonna keep my hair big, I'm gonna keep my nails shiny, I'm gonna wear some fucking gold and leopard print.
And my fucking daddy treats me like a princess.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, hell yeah. He bought me this nice car. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're living in Voorhees and Cherry Hill and Morristown, right? They're living in like the 3 richest areas in the country. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm with you, man. But there is something about like, dude, like they're, you know, big fan, big.
All
fan.
I know is I felt like it was, you know, I at a point I was sitting with my cousin, who it's his niece getting married, right? Real close to my cousin. Yeah. I'm sitting there. He's 8 years older than me. I look around. I go, Jesus Christ, Sam. He goes like, what? I'm like, he was like, I know. I'm like, who are I've known this girl since before she was born, right? This is my very close cousin's daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people. There's 210 people there. I know fucking 30 family members. That's it. Everything else, I'm like, I've never seen this person before in my life. Why haven't I been why are we not hanging out with your niece and her fucking husband and their friends?
Yeah.
Then I can meet the moms, or either way, it doesn't matter. Either of them. They're both in that range.
Yeah. Dude.
Now, here's the issue with South Jersey. You go and you get drunk and you act an asshole like I was just describing, right? This is a disclaimer for all you kids out there. You get a little fucking ballsy, right? These girls who may or may not or have been or maybe aren't promiscuous make you feel real comfortable. And then you go home into their big house, right? You hang out with them that night. And the next morning when you wake up, you're in the back of a Suburban with 2 Tide boxes up to your shins, little concrete in them. And their dad's driving in the front, screaming something in Italian at you, and then throws you into the fucking ocean because you were in his goddamn house with his daughter. So be careful with these Jersey broads down there.
Yeah.
This is a reality.
Be forewarned. They do not like trespassers. For sure. Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, dude, I'll tell you that there is something to be said about like it that's a skill, right? Like that is a real skill to be a woman like that age who's had several kids, whatever. Yes. I mean, also I think genetics has a lot to do with it as well.
Sure does.
Right?
Sure does.
You know, like there is a saying, you know what I mean? Like you want to see what your wife's going to look like in 30 years, look at her mom kind of thing. You know,
strong diet of red wine, vagina slims, and
Virginia Slims.
The diet of a queen.
Vagina Slims.
Perfect on a lady like that.
Oh man, yeah, some Virginia Slims and some Chardonnay. Love it.
Vagina just red lipstick just all over those tiny little filters. 40 of them in an ashtray just covered in red lipstick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, yeah, that's the best. I did love when we would get like Guido'd out chicks in Vinny T's when we worked there, because they would come in all the time. And I'm like, hey,
they would rich ass LBI. We were out there the one time because one of the guys in North Wales, grandfather, right? We meet these girls at one of the bars, end up telling them how we have a beachfront house, right? Because I used to tell a little bit of a lie, not really a lie, whatever, it's a lie. We would tell these girls down at the, we're like 22, and we'd be like, yeah, we have a beachfront house. It was my buddy's grandfather's. We'd act like it was ours after we got out of college, blah, blah, blah.
You invented Google. No big deal.
This fucking, because this house looked like it. It was insane on the beach, right?
Yeah.
So these girls are like, oh, that's dope. We have a bayfront house. Why don't you come back with us?
Yeah.
And her friend may or may not have been a rhino. Whatever. Matt was down. I was down that he was down to be with the fucking rhino. Either way, made the situation much better. We go back.
Rhinos need love too.
Exactly. He passes out. So the rhino asked me what to do. I gave her a marker. She drew like dicks on his forehead and shit while I tongued down her friend, right?
Sure.
Go color. Hey,
keep that rhino busy. Yeah.
So as he's keeping her busy, I'm trying to tongue down and move progressively to a better situation. As that's unfolding, I asked the girl, she's like, oh my God, that could be her dad. Stop. We're like 21. She's like, stop. I'm like, wait. Someone's home in here? She's like, yeah, her dad's upstairs. And I was like, all right, well, like, should I be worried?
Oh my
She tells me that the rhino's daddy works for the CIA. Like, be worried. He's like, yeah, he's wild. Like, he's in the, I've never ran out of a place so fast in my life. The rhino who's drawing penises on my buddy's friend's about to get me killed.
Bro,
again, watch where you go.
Yeah, tread lightly, dude.
Did you ever
thank God I wasn't with his daughter. Matt was fucking getting drawn on by his rhino daughter.
Did you ever see your buddy
someone
again?
says something to her.
Yeah. What did you ever? Go ahead, Bern.
We've never. I was gonna say, did you ever see your buddy again? Was he back the next morning, being like, "Hey"?
Oh yeah, no, we got him back. Yep.
Yeah,
we leave no man behind,
Exactly.
Amen, brother. Dude, I'll tell you, that's one thing. So I dated this chick in high school, right? And like her bedroom, like she lived in a rancher, but the rancher had an attic that they converted to like a bedroom, right? And
you got to pull the stairs down.
This is going. I don't like where this is going.
But they would have a they had a garage, right? They had a garage that had like a terrace that connected to like right underneath her bedroom window, right? So I was like dating her, and like, I was out one night with like my buddies and stuff, and my buddy had a truck, and I was like, dude, hold on, right? And like it was like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. We just got done like partying, and like we're like 19 at this point, just graduated high school, and I'm like, bro, I want to put a ladder in your truck, right? So I put a ladder in his truck, and like I was like, all right, take me to her house. He drops me off. I sneak into her backyard. I put it was one of those ladders that folds up into 4 pieces, and then you can unfold it and like put it up. So I go like behind her garage. I'm trying to be so quiet because her dad's room was like on the first floor. So I was like, fuck me. Oh, if I wake him up, I'm so dead, because he did not like me. I'll tell you that.
I wonder the fuck why.
Right.
This is not exactly a Rapunzel situation.
What I mean? This guy's at his shades opened up, going, this fucking drunk idiot. Watch it, man. Oh, clicking it.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till he gets 3/4 of the way up before I turn the back porch light on.
Yeah.
Just to watch him run away.
So I set up the ladder, and I put it against the garage, and I'm like trying to be as quiet as possible.
Which is so loud. So loud.
I'm the loudest fucking dude there is, right? Like,
you're a fucking bull in a china shop. How are you gonna be quiet?
Dude, but once I get up on the roof, right? The way it had to go, I had to walk like the spine of the roof, right? So like I'm walking the spine of this, bro, and like I've been.
Did she know you were coming?
Had no idea. Had no idea. Had no idea.
You psychopath.
This is
unsuspecting.
Yeah, before cell phones, before anything.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, had no idea I was coming. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
You're getting no help. You don't have an inside man. You're getting no help from the inside either.
No, but her bed was like right by the window. So I was
good.
like, so I go across, like I had to go across the spine of the roof to get to like where the adjoining
I have
thing
a
was.
visual of you all drunk on the roof
Bro,
trying to like
yeah,
surf your way, because if you go down, you're fucking dead.
dude,
You're
there
gonna
was
die on
like
this
like
roof.
I'm wearing
Mission,
like
just Matty, that Mission Impossible music playing in your head, right?
Yeah.
Just dun dun
Dun,
dun 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 dun
dude,
dun
you
dun.
are, dude. I even think I was doing that up there. I was like,
Yeah, I would have been.
dude. But like, Mike, I'm slipping.
No
on
one
the
can hear me. I'm so quiet.
I'm slipping on the shingles and everything like that, right? And then like, dude, I get to like, I finally get to the window. And I'm like trying to fucking, dude, I must have been like out by the window for like 8 minutes standing there, like, fuck it up. Like, because I can't be so loud that her dad hears, but I have to be loud enough to wake her up. Right. So it's like after like 8 minutes of banging through a screen onto a glass window, hoping I don't see a light come on, they answer and I fucking climb in the window and,
What'd you do with the ladder?
left it in the backyard. And I was like, God, I hope I pray her dad like doesn't wake up and see this. Like,
Well,
that's
honey,
all I could
Gotta
think.
let the dog out.
I'm gonna
Dog
go
take a
water the
bit- Oh, what is
plants.
that?
Dude, I was also praying like you didn't see the 3 shingles that fell off the roof too. Like,
You fucking asshole.
Oh, bro. But yeah, so yeah, the things you think, I don't even know how
That's
we
a
got
beautiful
there,
story.
but
I don't
yeah.
care. That's a beautiful
Yeah,
story.
beautiful.
I don't
What a
care how we
love
got there.
story.
I'm just glad we got
What?
there.
Only it proves
Romance.
2 things. It proves how emotional and ready and driven some men can be, and also how dumb dudes are and will do
Oh.
almost anything when their penis is leading the way.
Right.
This bull
Yeah.
drunk
Well,
on a ready to
we-
risk his health
Right.
off the top
Wait.
of his roof.
Well,
Wait, Matty, Matty, you be quiet. Me and Steve were talking about this now. His
Yeah,
buddy
yeah.
dropped his buddy dropped him off.
Yeah, fuck
shout-
your
left.
buddy who did that. Fuck
Shout-
your buddy who did
No,
that.
That was Matt's plan. Matt's
yeah,
plan was
I was like,
this is
told,
one-
I was like, it was
it's
a mission.
definitely gonna work.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
100%
if I
gonna
was your
work.
buddy, and he was like, "Yo, I gotta get a ladder because I'm gonna climb on the roof and go to my bra Jules' crib," I'd be like, "Yeah, great idea. Let's get a ladder. Fuck yeah, let's do this."
Former guest of the show, friend of the show, Alan Bach. Shout out. Thanks for giving me the
Yeah, hell
lift,
yeah.
buddy. Yeah.
So though, I would have been like, "Yo, I'm gonna park at the corner and turn the lights off.
Fucking
I don't,
scream.
but I didn't have a
I'm gonna
cell phone
leave
or
in-
anything.
I'm gonna leave in 13 minutes. I'm in 13 minutes from right. If it's 3:13 a.m., you're not here. I'm gonna assume it went well. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give you 13 minutes to totally fuck this up and probably come running out with your pants around your ankles, just like start the car.
It was one of those.
If you fall off the roof, scream medic.
It was one of those things where it's like I'm burning the bridges behind me. There's no retreat.
Yep.
Just going.
Burn
in.
the ships. Just burn the
Yep.
ships.
Yeah, dude. It's
Scorched earth on them.
Oh yeah, it was, dude. I did remember thinking like, "Fuck, I hope no one sees the ladder." But I don't know. I guess he had to wake up to go to work the next day.
This poor girl spent like 4 hours in my attic because my
Oh.
dad would just come home. You remember those jokes where I was like, my dad would just come home and just make soup. And he would just come home and like, oh, I'm gonna come home for lunch and make some soup. And he just put a can of soup on and it would just simmer for like 4 hours. So like it was the worst. If you had a sick day, my dad would come home and he'd be like, oh, this is where he fucks around during the day. Like we're not supposed to be here. So we're just cramping each other's style.
Yeah.
And one day I had a girl over after school. No one was supposed to be around for hours. And he just showed up. And this poor girl was like, yeah, I braided all of the Easter egg, like Easter basket grass that your mom keeps in the attic with Easter baskets. Like I had nothing to do for 4 hours up there. And this was like in the late 90s. So there's no cell phones. There's no.
Who was it? Do I know her? Is it?
No. It was a different broad.
So there was another time, but Bern knows this, that I'm a hopeless romantic. I think everybody knows that. And there was this one time I was dating this girl.
Sounds gay.
Yeah. So one time
I didn't mean that.
One time I was dating this girl and she had gone away for like a trip for like 5 days. And she was while I didn't go, I wasn't allowed to go, but because I wasn't allowed to leave the state. But she was gone.
Supposedly.
Right. And so when I would talk to her sister, I was like, hey, I want to do like a surprise for when she comes back. Right. So I buy like 1,000 balloons and I blow them all up and like I fill her room. Right. Like completely jam packed. Right. And then like when I talk to her sister, like, all right, when your dad goes to pick her up, call me and I'm going to come over and hide in the room. Right. And so like, you know, the dad went to pick her up and she called me. I came and hid in the room. And then like she came back and I like popped out of like 1,000 balloons and she like screamed. She's like, ah, and like her dad was like, what's going on? And she was like, nothing. It's nuts here. And I'm like, oh my God, fucking Christ. But yeah. And then, you know,
Fucking dad comes in and goes, the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm here to say hi. He's like, get the fuck out.
Oh, dude, he was.
Sounds like the squeakiest sex of all time with 1,000 balloons in the room. I mean, this you can't keep it down when that's going.
Dude, do you remember like having sex on a twin or what is it? What is a small one? A twin? Yeah. Yeah, like remember having sex like your kids, like a kid's bed, like when you were like 19, you know?
I slept on a twin bed in my house until I left for college.
Yeah.
Like that, we just had twin beds. That's what you got.
Dude, I didn't have a full size bed until I moved out. Yeah, it was awesome. Fucking loved it.
Oh,
it was the
game
best.
changer.
Yeah. But all right, so fucking A.
I don't even know.
Yeah, where do we go from here? Benoit, you got anything good? Or we good to wrap up? Because I gotta cut fucking 8 minutes of that shit out.
All right. Well, so I don't know if I told the story here before. So I moved in New York about 4 years ago, and moved down here with like a 2-month-old. Right. So I was and my wife took a shitty internship, and I just stayed home. So
right.
It was a crazy year where I just wasn't working, and so I didn't know anybody. So I go work at a bar for a couple of years, and then I go get a different gig. But one of the dudes I used to work with, this dude, Chris, like a really good buddy. Like I have probably a couple good dudes that I know down here, and he's definitely one of them. Like he's a big Birds fan. I was at his house watching the game where Danny Dimes tripped over the 20-yard line.
After he ran like a million miles
Sunday
an hour.
night.
Yeah.
So he's getting married, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm having a bachelor party. Like, do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see, run it through, see what I can do." He's like, "Yeah, we're going to go to the Eagles-Broncos game. Like, got some tickets for that." I'm like, "Oh, awesome." So then I don't read any of the emails. I commit to this fully 100% because I'm thinking this is happening in Philadelphia. So, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. I'll drive down there for the weekend. No big deal. Airbnb, I'll throw in for the Airbnb, whatever. They only have like 4 tickets to the game. I'm like, I don't even need to go. I'll go hang out with my brother or something.
Yeah.
And then I get like we got the Airbnb, we got the van. There's 10 dudes going. Like, so will coordinate flights. And I'm like, that seems a little excessive, fellas, flying to Philly from Lancaster.
Yeah.
It's in Denver. The game's in Denver. I didn't check it out. I didn't read the whole email. I didn't look at the schedule. I just assumed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the gift and the curse, because I was like, all right, well, at least I'm in. Sorry, honey.
But at least you're going to Denver, and it isn't
Mile High. Come on, cuz that's a bucket list stadium.
Yeah.
You know what though? I don't. So, but there's only like 4 tickets to the game, right? And like there's 10 dudes going. A couple of them are hardcore Birds fans, so like they'll scoop them up. Like, but I was like, listen, man, I don't care. Like, and I'm significantly older than these guys. I think they're like in their early 30s. Just turning 30.
Everybody needs an NCO in the group. Come on,
right? Exactly. Yeah. And I'll be 61 next year. So, So I'm like looking forward to it, and I was able to pay for the whole thing with like ridiculous small money parlays.
Nice.
No, gambling, straight gambling. The whole thing's paid for by gambling.
Respectable.
Nice.
Which I needed to do because that way it's easier to sell my wife and be like, I don't have to take $1 out of the old account.
Yeah,
I don't
family
take $1 out of
Oh, Steve, you lucky motherfucker! You don't have a fucking family fund. Oh, you motherfucking lucky motherfucker! Oh, you lucky motherfucker! You.
Listen,
oh my God! I wish I didn't have a shared fucking bank account.
I don't mean to be shitty. I don't want to be shitty. I don't want to do this. But you did that, dickhead.
Yeah,
You're right.
100%. 100%.
Not gonna lie.
Me?
Part of me fucking loves that a lot of that shit's taken care of by my secretary, but
Yep.
And knowing that I'll
President.
never end up on the street and I don't have to worry about it is big.
nice.
Like no matter what I do, it's out of my hands. So anyway,
Right.
so I'm going to Denver this weekend for a bachelor party. I've never been to Denver. Even if I don't go to the game, I'm going to go tailgate.
Dude,
tomorrow,
you're lucky,
at
man.
least for a couple hours.
Could you imagine if the game was in Detroit? Like what the fuck? Like you lucked out.
Because I would have just agreed. I would have agreed no matter what.
Yeah.
Now this dude Chris was in the Air Force. He was a helicopter mechanic. So I guess a lot of his friends live out west.
So it's like
anyway,
a halfway point kind of meeting.
Or are kind of like they're kind of like scattered around the country.
Nice.
So for the most part, it was going to be people traveling no matter what. But it's funny, we're starting to get like the text messages for the trip, right? And it's very clear that there's a lot of dudes who used to be in the Air Force, and there's like two kinds of people who go on vacation, right? Like I'm the guy who just shows up, puts on my sandals, and then wherever we're going, I just go. Like that's where we're going. Cool, I'll go there. With it, a lot of these guys are very, very regimented. So there's a lot of like, what's the plan for Saturday? What's the plan for Sunday? And I was well, my plan is to
not have that.
That's 1,600 hours. I need to do push-ups.
Yeah.
My plan is to eat my weight in marijuana and
not have
Sunday,
a kid to watch for the weekend.
And by Sunday, be like, I'm gonna lay around and watch football. And they're like, well, yeah, but we might do that. I'm like, guys, I know you're in your 30s, but like, we're gonna go real hard Friday and real hard Saturday. Yeah, and like,
let's 2 days,
save the plans. Let's save the plans for Sunday morning. Whoever wakes up by noon on Sunday morning can decide to go hiking if they want to, but I won't be. I will be eating my weight in cannabis. In Denver, where it's all because it's a tight trip, right? I think we're going down there. We're going to like steakhouse on Friday night, have a nice dinner. Saturday, bang around, go to like Saturday. We're gonna like bang around because there's nothing but like brew pubs and dispensaries in downtown Denver. So we're just gonna go like watch college ball and bang around town and get weird. So dude, I'm off now I'm having a kid in like 2 months too. So this is like, this is going to be the last hurrah for a little while. Yeah.
Dude,
so I'm very excited.
I fucking love the big go out to dinner before hitting the night, like bachelor party move. You know what I mean? Like I remember my one buddies, we went to like this fucking killer Mexican spot. My other buddy, we went to this Italian spot. Right. And like you fucking go, you have a fucking killer dinner, and then you go out and hit the fucking town. Right. Like that's like the fucking steakhouse or something. Like that's the fucking move. Well,
here's the funny thing, right? He sent out a deal. He's like, here's a restaurant I want to go to, but are there any other decent restaurants? And somebody was like, yeah, the other two best restaurants in Denver are Elway's and Shanahan's. And I was like, well, that's all right. Elway's and Shanahan's. What are they? Like, oh no, they're the exact same place. They're just like steakhouses with cigars and like all the same place.
Oh yeah, fucking great. I love that.
Elway's and Shanahan's are the classy Johns.
Nice, man. Well, I hope you don't fucking dude. I hope you don't well, I mean, I don't know. I've heard some horror stories about like people eating too much of the brownie or something out there and fucking getting cooked.
Matty, I'm a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, there's two types of people. And you either know, and if you don't know, then you're that guy.
Yeah.
Like there's not. I could eat all the edibles, and I'll be.
You could Joey Diaz it.
I'll be all right,
dude.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I won't be licking the wall and trying to pull my hair out of my head.
Right.
But I'll handle it. We'll figure it out.
But I won't make it a problem for anybody else.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm having if I catch a bad one, I'll go sequester
self-destruct
by the fire or just go lay in a room. Like I don't have a track record of making it a problem for anybody else. So I know I'll be at least there. And I may be the sage guy. Yeah, telling a bunch of fucking midshipmen how to do it on Sunday.
If you see that shithead Danny DeVito out there, tell him I said suck on my dick, Danny.
Wait.
They never got back to us.
Do that.
Yeah, fuck you, Danny.
Fire
They're-
Bros.
if
Like they did like the video I sent them on Instagram, but they've never
I take that
contacted
back.
us. Well, like, but they never contacted us. I am interested.
I should have at least got a free 8 out of that. Like, yo,
But-
send that
but-
shit to me.
But I will say this: like that video has been seen over 1,000 times by now, so that's 1,000. Like, you know,
Yeah. If for some reason they operate in the state of Colorado, I will do a live Danny DeVito review
Fire
and send
Bros.
it in Fire Bros review,
Hell yeah.
and I'll be honest about it because it's not like they're dousing us in swag right now. So like, let them know.
yeah.
No,
Although I'm sure
Danny
it's all
was
going to be.
fire.
I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'm sure the weed in Denver is gonna be incredible. So
Incredible.
that's all I need. A couple beers. Give me a steak. Let's
Yeah.
watch some ball. Let me
Fuck
eat
yeah.
some weed and chill out. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not gonna
Although
rage. You're married. You don't care, right?
Yeah, and if
Let's
I
get
do,
let's get
I
it. Let's
do.
get a ladder. Let's get on a fucking roof.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
get crazy.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. The good old days. So, all right. Nice. Well, cool, man. Well, good, dude. Thanks for sharing those stories, boys. Bern, I hope you have a fucking safe trip. Go.
If I can add, if Marcus Smart could hit 2 threes tonight, and that steak dinner is paid for. That's all I'm gonna say.
He fucking shit.
Come on,
you.
Marcus. No, not yet. Not yet. I think it's halftime. I don't know what he did yet, but I know what I need.
Wait, he just has to hit 2 threes?
2 threes. That's all I need. That's all that's left on my $10 19-1 parlay. So I'm just trying to make a steak dinner tonight. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Hey, let's get some crab legs.
Hey.
Have the Brussels sprouts.
Did you
too.
ever hear about what Chris Farley used to do when he would get steak? He would put a tab of butter on each bite of steak when he ate it.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
so
fuck
good,
with
but
it.
it's so much. It's so much.
Dude, and he would order like 2 of like everything. He was
he wasn't getting the 4-ounce fillet.
no,
Like
yeah,
he was getting the 28-ounce porterhouse.
yeah,
You got that wagyu.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, fuck yeah, good for him too. Yeah, live it up. Yeah, he's a fucking ledge.
Well, here's the thing. Not good for him because he didn't live it up. He died of a fucking heart attack.
He died
You
it up.
fucking idiot.
He did die it up. Did you ever hear the song, the Adam Sandler, Chris Farley song?
Oh
my
yeah, from like
God.
2 years ago.
breaks my heart every time. Great tune. So, all right, nice. Well, we're coming to the top of time, guys. So, like we said, available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast is the Chris Mastrolia episode, as well as our back catalog of over 50. At this point of recording, we aired our 50th main show episode this week. So, 50th show of the main show, 50th
Hey,
episode.
Matty, I was going to ask, what was the record date of your first episode? Where are we coming to around here? Because
I will tell you exactly. Hold on one sec.
I forget who the guest was. Kind of sucked, but it picked up after that.
So the first ever recording was Friday, November 20th. 2020. The
2020.
second ever recording was Tuesday, November 24th with our own Benoit Podcasy. So
I just felt like we're coming up, man. Coming up on a year.
Well, a year of recording, a year of airing is
A year of airing. Yeah.
So a year in recording is November 20th, but a year of airing is January 5th. Was our initial air date.
Either way, though, what an empire you've built in such a small amount of time.
Hey man, we're the team, brother. But it's been, so I will say we do have right now, we have 50 shows or 50 Tuesday shows, right? And then for the pop-in, including this, it'll be 40 shows, right? So totaled at, for those of you who can't do the math, total, we have 90 episodes that we will have put out.
If you can't do that math, please stop
Yeah.
listening. Don't ever listen again. Then just
There's-
die.
There's
But-
zeros at the end. Even me and Steve can do that math. Like,
Jesus Christ. Yes.
But no, like, yeah, man. I mean, dude, that's 90 episodes that we've put out, not even in a year. And
that's no joke, man. That's no joke.
And it's, it's been, dude, big. It's a big group effort. Like a lot of people have been involved with this and helped out. And like, even like, dude, like, I mean, I listened to an early episode the other day. It was Steve's. It was Steve's episodes when he was initially on the show. Because we did a 2-part series with Steve, and it was a really, really, really good episodes. And Shake was still there, man. Fucking one love to Shake. We'll always love you. Miss you, pal. But, and like, dude, after we had done Steve's episode, right, we started the Poppin' shortly after that, right? And like a couple weeks into the Poppin', I was like, Steve, can you jump on this with me? So Steve's been riding the Poppin' since like week 3 of the Poppin', So like, and it's been, dude, I mean, I think it's been great. So like, including this episode, we'll have published 90 episodes, and we have more scheduled, and hopefully more coming out, and hopefully this never ends. It's just fucking, it's fucking awesome.
And also more in the tank. So for all you listeners out there, thank you so much. And also just know that your boy, Uncle Matty, even though he might punt on an episode every once in a while for some technical difficulties, he's working hard for you out there.
Hey.
He's working hard for you out there. He's putting out content. I knew we were coming up like on around a year, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great job by you.
Hey, by us, man. We're the team, brother. That's it.
Hey,
we
listen.
Ride together, fam.
I fucking quit right now. I'm done.
That's for those counting. That's number 33. The times that
I'm
Steve
fucking
quit the show. No, but I tell you, man, I can't thank you two especially, and I can't thank everyone that's been involved with the show and been involved with the 4th Street Productions LLC, because it will be growing soon. We have another show under the network coming out soon, and hopefully more to come after that. And I'm fucking
porn
excited.
Channel.
Yeah.
Make a porn channel on that thing.
Dude. So you know what, Steve? Not a bad. I'll tell you, fucking Salsa Tinder and fucking working or 4th Street Productions porn. Come on. Or do you ever not have a genius idea? Come on.
I can already see you with a big gold chain and your top buttons all of a sudden are open. Chest hair's hanging out. He's got a new persona.
Right. They call me Matty Pumpkins. Yeah. But no. So before we take off, this is, we're coming to the top of time. Before we take off, Strong Stem, anything you want to say to the Cul de Cabot before we get out of here?
Not directly to them, but directly to Bern. Don't let any of these TSA pussies think you can't put weed on the check-in bag, on the way home, on the plane, like I did with Danny DeVito.
I'm only bringing one bag, and I'm bringing the fun. I mean, I can get weed here. I'm gonna bring those fatty edibles.
I hear you.
I'm gonna bring those gummies. I'm gonna bring that weird shit back.
The weed there's different though. The weed there's different too.
I can't wait.
Denver is the OG, right? Like they were the first ones, right?
Colorado and Washington State both did it at the exact same time, but it was like 6 or 7 years ago, and they just went full.
Home of Danny DeVito.
Well, dude, I think, and like they were the ones that saw like the massive income from like it's like
they were also the one that had like
a tourist attraction.
They were also the one that had like a $300 million surplus, and we're like, I guess all the kids can get books for school. And you're like, what a novel idea. Isn't that a fun thing to spend tax money on? Yeah. Kids having books in school. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Or
we got we got some potholes here. All right. That'd be cool.
Fucking A.
Could you imagine if Philadelphia just embraced, like if Pennsylvania does it, so they've embraced it, and the potholes all got filled in? Could you imagine what would happen?
That would never happen. We'll just see the councilman in a Bentley instead of a fucking, new Corvette.
True.
But
that's true.
Very true.
The crazy part that I didn't even bat an eyelid when I was in Washington and spent, I don't know, right? I spent like $150 on a marijuana shit, right?
Yeah.
The tab at the end was like $270. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I looked down, they got like a fucking 50% weed tax in that state. Now, whatever you buy, they tax 50% of that. And that goes to them.
Oof,
you know what? I just looked at them and I went, so even with all the stuff I bought, it's the cheapest up there. It still would have been way cheaper than around here. But the second I looked at that tax, I looked up, I was like, yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I had no problem. Just like you open a store, and every state should have one to make money because every asshole
Right.
doesn't matter. The
Right.
tax was almost 50%. I was like, no, yeah, makes sense. Makes complete sense. Here you go, sir. Thank you.
I wonder.
You know what I'd rather pay? I'd rather pay a 50% tax and have to hang out with that dude in his attic and listen to him play guitar.
Right.
Which I used to have to do when I bought weed for the first,
Wait
15
wait
years
for him
when I
and
wanted
shit.
to.
He's all, I'm 10
Yeah.
minutes away.
Yeah,
No,
7 hour,
10 minutes away.
bro.
on a pager. I'm gonna hit you with the
You're like, come
pager.
on, guys.
My number's 33. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. Give me. I'll pay the extra money for
Yeah.
not to have the hassle.
Fuck yeah, and for the kids to get their books, let's do it.
Yeah, listen. I'm going to Colorado because I want to help their children learn.
Nice.
You know, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do as much as I can while I'm out there to help their children learn.
You're a stand-up guy. That being said, Bern, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the 44th faithful before we take off?
No, I do want to. A quick thing though, 'cause listening to these last couple podcasts, especially talking to Steve, I realized that like at some point I'm going to want a good accountant when I have enough money to need one.
Mhm.
But other than that, Cornerstone Barbershop, Jason McGarry in York, PA, is the man. And Stouts Auto has done me right for 4 years, and I walked into that place knowing nothing. So you get a car guy, you get a barber, and then once you have enough money, you get an accountant.
And
You get-
Jew. Oh, and I can't say that?
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, I Steve, I don't know if you listened, but I let you say it. Like I left it in last week when you fucking screamed it.
yeah.
You know, but
yeah,
I mean, we put a
don't-
verbal disclaimer, so fuck off. Like, if
And
you,
Jew, because he'll get you all types of dope shit.
well, I'll tell you.
My uncle's guy he used to have allegedly jet skis and boats all written off.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Do you know who's a great accountant that we all know and love? The one and only party boy Pete
Jesus.
McCormick.
Ooh,
Jesus was a
Big
carpenter.
Pete. Oh yeah, that's right. But he was a Jew. He had to know math, right?
Take
Come
that,
on.
everybody. Take that, everybody. Jesus was a Jew. Get mad at that. Get mad at that. Triple dog dare. Triple dog dare.
fucking
Come at
get
it.
mad at
That's
that.
facts. That's
No
facts. That's
disclaimer
facts.
needed, because that's
No,
fucking
that's just facts.
true.
It's a fact. Read the Bible if you don't like it. Just the second part, though.
Did I get a little offensive at the end? I thought we were done. Or we're not
No,
done.
no,
No, I
you're
think-
good.
no.
Dude,
I
that's
think-
all
I think it was
staged. That's
facts.
all being clipped. Dude, I will say, so, all right. Well, let's fucking end this. So,
All right, yeah.
Bern, is all right, cool. We shouted out. What are those two businesses that you shouted out?
Cornerstone Barbershop in York and Stouts Auto also in York. Just
And-
good
and-
motherfuckers.
And Glendale Automotive in West Point, PA. Shout them out
Yeah.
too.
Get yourself a barber. get
Please
yourself
don't.
a
I heard the
mechanic.
guy there's a dickhead.
I heard they're honest, so know that. That's for damn sure. So yeah, get your hair cut, get an accountant, get your car fixed. Bern, I think you're all set. Nice.
That's all you need, man.
And your dick sucked.
Do you got a Jew for that too, Steve?
I got an Asian for that.
Oh, all right. Okay. So this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the strongest of stems and Dub's favorite son, strong stem Steve Cabot, the 44th father, the 44th fanatic, the 44th faithful, Bern Podcasy, and I'm Matt Lavelle. And you can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working PE Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show and do us a favor, email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please, God, please like and subscribe so that my wife doesn't fucking yell at me for doing this. It's just a huge headache. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Thanks. See you.